she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you loving is the one you're loving?
And I'm going to save this Deion Sanders conversation because it's much deeper than just Colorado winning a football
It
game.
is.
There's lessons here. But
There are lessons in there. That Deion Sanders is deeper than he looks.
all right, what do you see, sir? What do you see?
I'm trying not to open this box. I'm trying not to.
Go ahead, open it.
Here's what I think. And I was in a whole other place when Deion Sanders first left Jackson State. I was in that bandwagon, a little frustrated with him, a little mad. But after reading a lot of things and after hearing some interviews, and I'm gonna tell you what I figured out. Deion Sanders got a vision. Deion Sanders got a vision. But what messed people up is that he never announced it. So people could not follow it and seemingly support him. But you know how you know? Because it was not just Deion Sanders who left Jackson State. Deion Sanders took a whole entourage of people with him. Deion Sanders got the vision of trying to get himself appropriated and set up in a place where he could literally change the notion of how the NFL is done and how Black people will benefit from it more than anybody on this planet. But people missed it because we were mad that Deion Sanders traded places. Deion Sanders shifted, and he did. But he didn't shift because he was sick of Jackson State. He did not. He shifted because Deion Sanders got to a crossroad. Deion Sanders got to a crossroad and was like, do I stay at Jackson State and influence these young folks? And I believe he loved them. Do I stay at Jackson State and do this transformative work? Do I do that? Right? Or do I take the chance and the possibility to step into an arena that is 10 times the size of Jackson State? If I can keep my mind together and if I can keep my soul right, for the possibility of creating a universe, a Black sports possibility that will change this whole world. That's what I think Deion Sanders was playing with.
Okay. We're gonna see.
We're gonna see. That's right.
We're gonna see.
Right.
I see the possibilities too, but I have visions. And I think he has a vision as well. I'm not sure if that's quite it. And let me apologize to Danny Garcia, the CEO of the XFL. You are not just The Rock's ex-wife. I apologize to you, ma'am. You are so much more. You are a powerhouse in and of yourself. Danny Garcia is the CEO of the XFL. I think that's part of it. I think I intimated that The Rock is there for a reason. Master P is there for. I think something's happening in the unseen. I think there's our own G8 summit happening. I think he can convene people in a way and gather people in a way that, many of us may want, because in my heart, I'm like, I want a Fred Hampton moment in the body of somebody powerful enough to not be taken out.
Right. But see, I'm gonna be honest. Under white supremacy, there is nobody Black who's powerful enough not to be taken out.
Damn it. I know you're right. So, to that point, I had an interesting meeting today, and I'm going to say less about that, opened my mind to the global possibilities of people coming together. And it is the fear, the fear you talked about, the fear of us being educated during enslavement. They knew if we learned how to read, then we could, like Frederick Douglass, like, why am I in bondage? Oh, right. I want to be in bondage. Okay, wait a minute. And that many of us to this day reject reading, which is the pathway, the very words that can free you. We ain't even trying to understand. This to me is frustrating, but okay, there's nothing I can do about it other than to keep talking. But I'm like, there's plays happening that can change and shift. I think, and I ask this question all the time, how did Portugal and then Spain and then England and then the Belgians and then how did they all come together and sit in a room and divvy up Africa? How did that happen? And how did the Africans not see this? It's like, how? Who decided this, right? I'm like, well, the reverse for freedom's sake, not for bondage's sake, needs to happen, right? And this is my, my inner soul working. And I look at the sports as a microcosm of what the possibilities are, because he is challenging this notion. First of all, coaches, what can they coach? We know they can run. They got the high thigh bone.
Right.
Can they? Coaching is an intellectual prowess. Is it? Is it a man that is two sports in a Super Bowl and in a damn freaking World Series of baseball? He can't teach. He can't teach the next generation. Clearly, in his own house, he's taught two of them, Shiloh and Shador, both of them in the running for, all kinds of awards and accolades. They're both going to probably be in the NFL. Travis Hunter, my cousin. I don't know if he's my cousin. We got the same last name. So he is cousin Travis, as far as I'm concerned. Out for 3 weeks because a player on the other team, cheap shot. I mean, it was a nasty cheap shot. Dr. Black, that cheap shot on Travis Hunter made me want to go through the television, because you can tell that was on purpose. It looked like it was on purpose. Yeah. And now you threatening this boy's career, his entire career. That hit when he took off that helmet, I was like, oh, he ain't coming back. Maybe his rib is broken. I don't know, but he's in the hospital. He was in the hospital. He's going to be out for 3 weeks now, which is terrible. But I think about the impact of the NFL. And to me, I can't watch it because it's still an ownership question. Why can't we own? Why can't we? Oh, because you built it? Well, can we build something else? So now I'm looking at Danny Garcia, CEO of XFL. I think there's another league. The Saudis are already showing you the way. They done took over golf. They're trying to take over soccer/football. They're looking at the NBA like, oh, we can pay LeBron $1 billion to come play. Can you? No, you're not willing to do that because y'all greedy. There's a whole other playing field out here.
Right. It's space wide open. Karen, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is one thing. White people perceive themselves divine by design. This is why Portugal and Spain and Great Britain and these could come together and divvy up Africa, because they perceive themselves divine by design, and they created a God and made that God agree. Karen Hunter, please remember, Black people, we get divine by achievement. Oh, God, help me. Karen, those folks who got together and divvied up Africa, they didn't have no PhDs. They was just white. There was nothing particularly excellent about those men. We only give divinity to Du Bois. We only give divinity to somebody who we think has achieved it.
But achieved based on somebody else's methods of achievement.
Exactly. Which is why it's hard for us to put our pieces together when we even have the obvious resources. Because subconsciously, we can't seem to dream, we cannot seem to envision anything that doesn't have European sanction. You mean to tell me 80% of the NFL is Black and we still talking about some white damn owners? 80%. You mean to tell me that 80%, not even 50, 80% of any one group would not see its buying power in its own structure? How did they miss that? Because they don't have the assumption of their divinity.
As she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one